Hello, everyone, and happy day. Welcome to Business Owner Burnout.
Hey everyone, happy day. That's something I got from Erica definitely because we're gonna have a good day, right, Erica? That's why you say that.
That's why I say it. It's like an affirmation. It's also very much setting the stage for the interaction that I'm having with people. As in, like, I'm gonna have a happy day. If you don't want to have a happy day, then we don't need to be interacting with each other.
Yep, I love it. I love it. It's a good way to think about that definitely because you actually brought that to life for me. But I'm Abby. I'm the CEO of Queendom Empire. I offer virtual COO services as well as online business management and help. I actually outsource VAs for business owners to try to prevent business owner burnout, right? Because, as business owners, we need to be able to rely on each other sometimes and help each other out and support each other. And that's a form of it. So, um, I have a great outsourcing guide too. I'm going to go ahead and mention that. Erica, if you could put that link in the chat so people could take a look at that. It's just a little something to where maybe you're thinking about hiring a VA but you don't know when you're where you're at in your business. If that's something for you right now, that outsourcing guide will be a really good tool to help you with that. So today I thought we had a really good conversation last week about boundaries, and I kind of wanted to continue that because they are so important, and yet I don't think people really think about how important they are, or how much of a priority they should be. So last week I had a little something going on in my personal life and stuff like that. And it's like I've said before, I've talked about boundaries on here before. I've talked about uh, a little bit of how as a business owner, it's really it's a little more challenging than just employees to keep your business life separate from your personal life, right? Because you're a business owner and your business is your life. So it could be a little tricky. But anyway, I had something go on, and I had to talk to somebody and set some boundaries up there, or talk to them about boundaries and be like, listen, what happened was not okay. To me, this is what it seems, and this is what I'm going to need you to do. I don't remember word for word what Erica said, but Erica's going to introduce herself and what she has to offer. And we're going to continue this wonderful conversation about boundaries because, like I said, it is so important. I know I mentioned it on here in um, quite a few episodes. So,
Okay, yes. Can you hear me? Okay, yes. All
yes.
right. So I was having a problem with my mic a few minutes ago. I had chimed in, but then I was like, she's talking again.
Oh yeah, because we definitely couldn't hear you, but we can hear you now. So welcome back.
Yes. Okay. Well, so I'm Erica Kesse. All right. A love force with mysterious wisdom, celebrating life. I like to say who I am because I'm multifaceted. I have so much going on. The thing that I want to talk about for us endearing for business owner burnout is um, I would have to say, I would like to let people know that I also am the founder of Thrive Oasis, which is a resting place and resource hub for matriarchs and leaders. Thrive Oasis really has it's a membership based opportunity to connect and to have what you need in order to rest. Speaking of rest, I took off for my birthday, and I've had so much happen for me just in the time. Every time I take off work, I have so much more happen for me in my life. And I just have to keep on remembering, like, it's just so amazing how we're not supposed to be forcing anything. We're supposed to just be allowing things to occur and happen in our lives. And an affirmation that that's really been resonating a lot with me is everything from my thriving flows to me. Everything for my thriving flows to me. So um that's it. We are here. I hope that you all see this information. I'm going to drop Abby's outsourcing guide in there, and then after that I'll drop the Thrive Oasis link so that you can check it out and find your, like, we're here basically saying, hey, you don't have to do this alone. You can have community, you can have support around you so that you can actually thrive.
Yeah, and that is so important to have that support system. I know we've said that before too, but I mean, a lot of people like me, it's funny because lately over the past few years, I haven't really wanted a whole lot of people around me, and really quite understood that good support system because I didn't have the right support. You know what I mean? So the right support, it doesn't have to be a huge circle or whatever, but the right support is very important, just as important as boundaries in my opinion. So I know I wouldn't have gotten this far without Erica. She is a big part of my support system. And I do have a couple other people. I know my kids, they support me just in their own childlike ways. And maybe that's another story for another day. Okay. Because Zeke, let me tell you something. He in puberty, he is 14. And he tried to check me yesterday on a few things and trying to check it for me. Honey, I'm talking about, when I say check me, I'm talking about he was so adamant that he knew what year we moved into this house. And I'm like, hold on, buddy, didn't I sign the lease? Like, do you pay the rent or do I? I'm just trying to figure that out because you are not correct, sir. Okay, I believe I remember when we moved into this house. But it was funny. And then I guess I was taking a little too long in the gas station because I have a friend that's in there. So when she works in the evenings and I don't have to rush back here to get back to work when I'm getting my drinks, my Diet Cokes and stuff, I'll talk to her for a second. So I guess I was taking too long and he turned my car off, got out the car and came in the gas station. I'm like, boy, if you don't take who are you talking to? Who are you checking for? Who's the parent here? But I love it though, because I do laugh about it later. He's just at that age.
No, that's hilarious because that sounds like my child. Yeah. Yeah, she's going like, so there's a thing, there's certain times, she's getting it together,
Mm-hmm.
as in, so there's time because we work together, doing work. There's times that she can be my assistant and
Mm-hmm.
help me, but there are times when I can tell that it's more, I'm annoyed with you, mom energy. And when it's I'm annoyed with you, mom energy, then she's gonna get some rebuttal. Like, so we
Mm-hmm.
have, we have a, you have to be, you have to just kind of check on it. But yeah, that's how it is. Like, a lot of times, if she's in like a stank mood, you don't get to tell me what to do when you're in a stank mood. You can tell me what to do when you are overflowing, right? And you're doing well and you're healthy, and I can tell you're here to help me. But
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
any other way, you've been try to boss me. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No,
Got to
ma'am.
set up them boundaries with them kids too and kind of try to direct it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, sir, I appreciate that you're like getting to the point where it seems like you're being a little too involved in my business as an adult. So I'm going to need for you to back it up and be a little nonchalant if you're just trying to look out for me. You know what I mean? Because listen, I mean, he was asking me who I was on the phone with yesterday and stuff like. I'm like, buddy, look, just because you don't have a phone, don't mean you get to be all up in my business right now. But at the same time, I kind of like it, Just, I mean, We got to set some boundaries there, you know. But but I did going back on a conversation from last week. I did actually have a conversation with one specific person, not the person I had the that actually did the thing that kind of crossed the boundary and stuff like that. But you know, my fiance and stuff, I did have a conversation with him about that, most definitely.
Yeah. All right. And
Um,
how'd that go?
he so he said that you know she had called and talked to him, and so he knew and stuff like that. He didn't know that I basically had told her that I wasn't pulling my car out from under the carport, and I had my reasons for it. I wasn't just being mean. It was already kind of raining, but I digress. He's like, well, I didn't know that, and you know, blase blase. I was like, well, shoot. First of all, I didn't know she was coming over. So if you had already talked to her, you know, that stuff throws me off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm gonna need for you, like, if you know that you got something else to do, because in my opinion, she don't live here. She's always asking you for, you know, help and stuff like that, which I get and I understand, and I'm not telling you not to do anything. What I'm saying is put some boundaries up. So if you've been up since 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and you're just getting home in the evening and you're trying to rest and stuff like that, I mean, that last minute stuff is not okay.
Um, definitely. Boundaries are important. And you mentioned earlier, you said that we were going to talk about boundaries again. And
Yep.
I think that you can't talk too much. You can't talk too much, like too much about communication skills,
Mhm.
boundaries,
Mhm.
knowing your vision, knowing your mission, and making sure that you're thriving,
Right.
and also your energy and time management. I think you can't talk too much about those things, which is one reason why I put all those things in my book. Honey, you need counseling skills, because a lot of people, they're not going to go to therapy, and that's fine. Like I am fine with people not going to therapy, but I think that everybody needs some counseling skills. I feel like if we all just took some time, just like you learn other skills, these are skills and things that you need to spend some time with doing. Because imagine if everybody in that situation had counseling skills. They'll know how to communicate clearly, they'll know how to have boundaries, they'll know how to manage their time and energy, they'll know how to thrive best, and be each other's social support system. Like all of this would have allowed this circumstance to be different. And going back to us being here regarding a business owner burnout, that's one of the things that we can think through when you're feeling burnt out, is that you take a moment and you process through what that burnout is feeling like, and then what are you going to do by coping, and then lastly, after, what are you going to do from coping, having support system people around you who are going to hold you accountable to doing those things.
And be an encouragement to you. You know, when because people can hold
Yes.
accountability in different ways, right? I mean, you
Yes.
have people that, you know, are just kind of rude with it because they don't, like you said, they don't know how to communicate and stuff. But then you have people who are, you know, they do it from a good place, and you could tell. I mean, just that spirit
Mhm.
on them. You can tell when people are really just trying to look out for you by the way they talk to you and stuff like that. Sometimes even if they're jumping on your case, you know what I mean. I mean, you could just tell.
You
But you need
can tell.
people. You
You
need people
really,
that are going to
you
hold
really
you
can.
accountable. Yeah,
Yeah, you
and
really
be
can
encouraging.
tell. You really
Yeah.
can tell. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why I'm able to say a lot of things from to people. You can say pretty much anything to anybody. If you say it in a certain way of like, I am I'm just I want to share this information. I want to share this with you
Yep.
just in case no one has. And I want you to understand how it could be better. And And then also, while you're sharing that too, while you're sharing that information with people, notice how they're responding to it. If they're
Yep.
responding in a very like defensive way, then you should stop. Don't
Right.
continue to share with them because they become irritated with you. It
Hmm.
should just be more like people need like a little, Mary Poppins, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you give a little, you say the things that they've been doing well, then give them that medicine, and then allow them to handle that bit.
Hmm.
Not keep berating them like that. Just like there is a science to this thing, to challenging people to be their best version of themselves. There is a it's an energy. Um it's really about the relationship and their capability of being open to you,
Yeah.
and wanting what they say they want, because most of the time you're reiterating what they said they wanted. And so when someone says, ooh, like when they feel like you stepping on their toes, but they're okay with that you've because you're the safe person who's not there to rub it in their face, but say, but you said this.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm. And if all of that isn't working, if you feel like that, you're being as nice as you can about it, or that you're doing your best and you're doing your part and coming from the right place and stuff like that, and that's still not working, then they just may not be for you. And
Did
sometimes
you
that's
walk
a reality
away?
too.
Hello?
Yes.
Did you walk away? You sound far away.
Oh, I don't know why I got my mic on.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it just it sound like it sound for a moment. I didn't hear the last thing you said.
Oh, the last thing I said was, if you really tried to, come at it from the right place, you was coming at it from the right place and things like that, and they're still not accepting what you're saying. Because if they don't accept what you say, they're not going to, they're not going to receive it. In other words, you're wasting your breath. You know,
Yeah.
you're wasting your time with that. So if you've done all you can do in a good place for them, then maybe it's just time to walk away, because sometimes um, you ain't for everybody and everybody ain't for you.
That is true. It's going back, it's about that establishing that relationship.
Hmm.
Um and people are willing to hear what they're willing to hear when they're willing to hear it. And
Yeah.
that's another part about sensing if they can handle what you're sharing. If they can't, then you should back away. And at that point, and then that's at the point where you set a boundary and say, this person does not have the capability to hear what I'm saying, to be the best version of themselves. So how am I going to operate now that I recognize their bandwidth?
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like burnout happens because we have an expectation that certain things go a certain way, and when they don't, and like the people around you, you go and overextend yourself to make it be what you envision it to be. If you would have boundaries around you, you're not gonna overgive of yourself.
Right. Right. So let me ask you a question, talking about oh, I know my brain is not going to pull this on me right now.
Oh, that's the mama brain.
I'm telling you, and that's a real thing. They were talking about that on the news last night. Okay, let me get back on track here. They really were. It made Fox News. They were talking about how pregnant women and stuff. I mean, that's a real thing. But you had just said something, and I had a question for you. Expectations, right? So, do you think? Because I mean, I've heard before, okay, and I used to fall victim to that a lot of like having expectations, and I still do sometimes. Having certain expectations with certain, with people, and I've heard a lot, where people say, look, just don't expect anything, don't have any expectations and stuff, and that way, um, you won't be disappointed or something like that. Do you have any thoughts on that? Like, do you like
Yeah.
what do you how do you handle that? Do you think
Okay.
it's hard
So
to not have expectations?
so okay. So I have to say it's levels to this thing. It's levels to your and I think it goes into the types of boundaries. So there are three types of boundaries. There is porous, there is rigid, and there is healthy. Okay. Porous is when you're sharing too much of yourself and sharing too much of your business and people, and it's really loose. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Rigid is when you are hyper vigilant about no one hurting you and no one knowing anything. Then you get to healthy, where there is you're paying attention to your emotions and you're flowing with what is the best boundary for that particular situation, that particular person, and you're setting them in real time. Okay, so there's three types of boundaries. So at first, I need to say that. Then I want to say this. At first, because I had circumstances that so many people were, I was overextending myself. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
then I had to learn how to not overextend myself, so I put rigid boundaries around myself so that I can learn how to do that. And then after I learned how to do that, and with that rigid boundaries, I said to myself, I don't have any expectations for anybody because everybody's mediocre, everybody's trash. That's why I used to
Right.
say, like, oh, I'm not going to expect anything from anybody. They don't have the capability. They're just not good. I'm just rigid. Just like I'm not going to even give them a chance, right? Then after I really got secure in myself and my own capability to vet the right people and feel the right people and know the right circumstances, like I really got secure in myself, that's when I can have healthy boundaries where I can have expectations. I'm okay with individuals who do not rise to my expectations. I know how to put them where they belong, and maybe they interact with me in certain ways that it's not as close as a person who does fulfill my expectations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can understand that. I didn't think anybody would really thought about it or broke it down like that, because people don't talk about the levels of boundaries, right? People don't talk about, because and that's where a lot of the confusion comes in, because people don't
Well,
talk about how there's levels
yeah.
to it.
Well, I mean, you're here with you're here with a therapist. I mean, I know I told y'all I was a love force, but I'm also a life professional counselor. I'm a business execution coach. I'm a positive intelligence coach. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I've been at this thing for a while, interacting with human behavior.
Right.
I was like, I grew up trying to figure it out. Like I was just confused, and really wanted to know. So I went and got a master's in leadership. I got a master's in clinical mental health counseling, and then after getting all of the masters, I recognized that wait a minute, basically people are just going to do what they want to do. You have to be the change. You have to be firm on what you're doing with yourself, and then everybody else either falls in line with you or they don't.
Right. Right.
That so I'm going to get all this education trying to understand, but what I recognize is you can't you can't understand anybody else's behavior. You're never going to truly understand it. People are going to move however they're going to move, right? but
Hmm.
you get to know how you're going to rebound from it, respond to it, because that's the only thing you can control.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like, as I was trying to figure out how to deal with people, in my early 20s, um, I noticed a lot of that stuff. And so I like, without having to, read a book or, anything like that. I am not a therapist by any means, or, anything like that. But I did understand enough to know that, there was levels to it. Um, and there were different type of boundaries. I just never knew how to put them in words, I guess. Um, and again, like you said earlier, I don't think we could talk about boundaries enough, because people need to understand that. People need to understand when you are sharing too much
Yep.
of your business, and your time and what's going on with you, with people,
Yes.
instead of waiting until, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't have told them that. Maybe I shouldn't have
You
shared
know
that with
what?
them.
You know what? Here's a way to answer that. I'm glad that you said it. You have to be observant of other people.
Right.
When they will tell you if it's getting to be not what they are interested in knowing and hearing. You have
Hmm.
to sense, and but that means you have to be in touch with your emotions. And you cannot be, a lot of people are trauma dumping on other people. So when you're going to share something with somebody about whatever happened to you or whatever you're going to share, you need to make sure you tell the story where you're ultimately victorious. And
Yeah.
so, like, where you have been able to get to now because of what happened.
Hmm.
Because it's not okay to dump without crafting the story as to, like, what did you learn, what is it that they can take away from this other than being dumped on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah, I can definitely understand that too. So I mean, because that's, and I mean, I think these are things, what we're talking about and stuff. It's, I mean, it's happened. I could say it's happened for me. I've been the person to, really honestly, trauma dump on somebody, not meaning to, of course. However, that was back before I really understood how important the boundaries, were. Um,
Right. I mean, if somebody, you find yourself doing that a lot, then it probably means you need to go be, you need a person, your person, a person that is wanting to hold space for you. And
yeah.
I'll have to say that's another thing that's in my book. I'm gonna have my new book come out eventually. It's supposed to came out like last month, but it didn't come out anyway. Is an additional skill, which is holding space. And when I say holding space, it's like they give you 30 minutes. Like, y'all spend time with each other for an hour. One person, let it be about that person for 30 minutes. And then the other person gets 30 minutes. And then and let it be that. Instead of being on the phone all day long, letting somebody just uh, you know, dump all this on you. Because so I was on the phone with a person yesterday. Was it yesterday? Maybe 2 days ago. But like, I had got them regulated, they were good, and then they like easily was gravitating right back to the victimhood. And I said, this is what I said to them, because I have this relationship with them. I said, why are we talking about this? I said, why are we talking about this in 3 weeks from now? Would this be something that you're even thinking about? And
Yeah.
they go, no, I will not be. And I go, so why are we giving it time now? Like, can
Yeah.
we stay in a state of happiness, a state of contentment, instead of gravitating? But the thing is, you're gonna have to, like, one thing about this is you're gonna have to bring yourself back. Bring yourself back.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Bring
Yeah.
yourself back. Listen, bring yourself back. If everybody can just Bring themselves back. And sometimes that's why you have a social support system person, is they can help you bring yourself back. Bring yourself back. I love me a person to bring me back. Please bring me back. Cause I mean I know. I know I can go. So if listen, bring me back. But only certain people can do that for you, to you, because you know that they're not trying to bring you back so they can bring it to let it be about them. Some people are trying to bring you back to let it be about them. No, it needs to be okay. You said you want to talk about this. Let's get back to this. So that
Yeah.
is that's so a lot of us are carrying so much. Like Abby and I are sitting here talking about business on burnout, but it is like your whole life. It's everything that's going on in your life that is burning you out, that
Yeah.
people are not considering. Like they're talking about, oh, work is causing it, or my business is causing it. No, it's your lifestyle. Woo! It's your
Yeah.
whole lifestyle.
Yeah, because I bet you most of the time when people say, oh, it's this or it's that, okay, but have you really sat down to, and I'm guilty of this too, have you really sat down to really think about what it is though? Because I mean, I could say it's one thing and then get that one thing taken care of, and it's like, okay, it wasn't that, so maybe it's you have to know yourself well enough to know and balance your time out and put the boundaries up to know when you need space for yourself, a minute to just breathe, because I mean, life is already overwhelming. I mean, you add a business and family and stuff like that to the mix, because like I said, as a business owner, it's even more challenging to keep that separate from your personal life because your business is your life, you know.
Yes, yes.
So, but
and and we get to have the kind of life that we want to have. So you can't go into business thinking you're going to behave the same way you did when you were working in a business. It has to be that you are curating your life. That means
mhm,
it is a proactive decision every day on how you're going to curate the best life for yourself. You have to, it's not just doing the work of running your business or even working on your business. You must work on yourself. That should be a part of your agenda every day.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Um, Erica, we're running a little over. We got to get to your event on how imposter syndrome causes burnout. Okay,
Okay.
so um, but again, I'm Abby. I'm the CEO of Queendom Empire, offering services to best support you in your business. Erica did include a link for my outsourcing guide, and I can be found at LinkedIn. I think that's linkedin.com/Abby Lee underscore QE, or you could just visit my website at queendomempire.com. And if you need to talk, you can schedule a consultation there as well.
Okay, yes, and as we end, I'm Erica Kesse. I am now gonna there's Abby link right there for you to get her outsourcing guide, y'all. It is just comprehensive and a wonderful resource for you. I'm gonna now put up my link, which is bit.ly/Thrive Oasis, because I would love to have you all come be a part of Thrive Oasis. If you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling like you're on the verge of burning out, if you have the symptoms of missing appointments um, or losing passion of your business, or um, feeling overwhelmed, headaches, fatigue, then maybe you need to have a support system that is really can be there for you and help to bring you back, and so that you can be the best version of yourself, that somebody, a place where you can finally rest and be the
Mhm.
best version of yourself. So um yeah, so you all create a thriving rest of your day. Okay,
Wonderful. Till next week. Bye, everybody.
bye.